My name is Jessica Reynolds, and I'm the digital editor of opinion at the Chicago Tribune, working with the editorial board, columnists, bloggers, other opinion staff. And I graduated from Loyola School of Communication in 2012. Being the digital editor for opinion, I manage the opinion section of chicagotribune.com. I take basically the text of editorials, columns, op-eds, and I give it good presentation online. I add photos to it, I do SEO, I do the social media for the editorial board and the opinion pieces. I try to get everyone to think digitally. We have this new thing called digital first, so we want everything online first, and then the paper is sort of the best stuff that's online. I was an intern here. I was an intern for the editorial board, so kind of worked my way up from there. I also was an intern for the WGN Morning News Show and another show at WGN's sister station, CLTV. I worked on Politics Tonight, which is a nightly live political show, and that's my interest, so it was really great to help out on that. And I was also an intern for Loyola's University Marketing and Communications Department, so I wrote stuff for Loyola's PR website, basically. I helped out with, I was editor-in-chief for the Loyola Student Dispatch, which was John Slania's attempt to have a breaking news site. So that was really cool because it was, trying to have digitally exclusive journalism. And I loved helping out with that, getting to write breaking news stories or feature stories. I initially started out being solely a political science major. I've always been interested in politics. I knew I wanted to do something in that realm. And then I studied abroad in Rome the second semester of my sophomore year, and when I got back, I just needed something, I had gotten out of my comfort zone in Rome, and I wanted to get back here and just try something new. It's something I ultimately liked, and so I thought, hey, I've always read a newspaper since I was a little girl, why not do journalism? You love this. So I enrolled in the School of Communication, and my first semester of my junior year, I had John Slania as a professor, and he was like, hey, you kind of have a knack for this. Like, you're a go-getter, you seem really good, why don't you try your hand and help out in these extra things? And I remember he sat me down in his office one day and said, pretty frankly, like, hey, you should really consider journalism a profession. And no one had ever, especially no professor at Loyola, had ever pulled me aside and said, you're really good at something. So that it meant a lot. In hindsight, there are a lot of things I wish I would have done. I wish I would have freelanced more as a student. I think a lot of young journalists don't have enough confidence in their writing or their reporting skills to freelance or to pitch editors blindly, but an editor could say yes, and that gives you a professional byline, and that is huge when you're applying for jobs. I learn something new every single day. I'm always reading the opinion pieces that we post because I have to do online editing for those, and they always teach me something new. And I'm also reading our news stories so that I can think about what we could be writing and what kind of additional opinions we could be offering to our readers. So I go home and I feel so enriched because it's like my education never stopped. And I think that's why a lot of journalism students choose that field, because you always have an excuse to ask questions and talk to people, and it never gets boring because you're never going to hear it all or learn it all.